Hey there guys, Darkman here. Welcome back for a new series. I saw this on the Steam store just because I looked at like one visual novel on Steam a long time ago, and now it's been recommending me visual novels nonstop. And I saw this one, and I was like, I like the look of this one, and this is just a demo. I don't think that the full game is released yet. I can actually check that right now. But I loved how it looked and everything, so I was like, why not? You know? But I will say, for this first episode, I may be speed reading, because I actually already recorded. I hit the mic, I'm so sorry. I am so terribly sorry. Yeah, it's coming 2022. It's not out quite yet. But yeah, I already did an episode of this, but my audio, the reading audio, the most important part, just didn't work. I don't know what it was. Like, it would just like suddenly like go super duper quiet and then go super duper loud and then super duper quiet. Like, I would be talking like just like I am right now, literally just reading like a line of dialogue, and then suddenly it would go like almost completely silent to the point I couldn't hear it, and it'd go so loud to the point, like, it sounded like I was like shouting, but in a very like monotone, stoic kind of way, if that makes any sense. So even I tried playing around with the audio for like 10-15 minutes, and then at that point I just kind of realized like I spent almost as much time. Well, I think no, it was closer to like 20 minutes, because I remembered I hit the point where there's only like a few minutes before I was like at the point where I could have just recorded the whole episode again, and it would have taken up the same amount of time. So I was like, I might as well just re-record it, because I've been playing around with the peaks and the minimum volume. I'm blanking on what it's called. But I was doing a lot of audio editing on it, trying my best to fix it. And the solution I found would have taken probably close to an hour. And that was really just watching the entire video, which isn't like too bad, because I have a storytime channel, not storytime, but like a narration channel, where I do a lot of reading, and a lot of that is just listening to the whole video and just cutting out the bad takes pretty much, and then like adjusting the audio so it sounds a little bit cleaner, that kind of stuff. So it's not like that would have been too bad, but I would have had to gone through and level out the audio every single time it dipped and every single time it rose. Which I did for like the first like minute of it, but that took about 10-15 minutes-ish for 1 minute of audio. I got it sounding really good, but it took too long. So it probably would have taken around... it would have taken so long. But yeah, with that being said, let's just jump into it. Oh. Yeah, see, continue, new game, yeah. But I'm just really quick gonna do a thing that lets me sync up the audio, actually. So, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click.
Tell me this story next.
Click. Also, yeah, a lot of the game has voice acting, which is pretty cool. Fog settled over the forest, far from the villages and towns, and with it came silence. Oh yeah, again, by the way, I'm going to be speed reading. Why is it that as soon as I started, like... I'm so scared of my audio not being right that I'm constantly watching it now. Okay, birch trees... I'm gonna turn up my recording volume. Just a little bit at this point. I'm sorry. Hello. Again, I'm so scared of it losing again. I don't know why I did that. Birch trees shivered, pondering the weather, and dropped their leaves in fright. Streams bubbled, unseen by man, and babbled like the birds in the trees. In the middle of the forest was a grove, and in the middle of that grove was a log. It had been years since it had fallen. Once was the proudest trees around, and now in death was home to abundance of life. A line of frantic ants ran to and fro. Mushrooms, cloud-like and pillowy, sprouted across one side like a footpath for fairies. Nearby, an old toad flopped contentedly in the mud, and inside the deep, damp hollow of the tree, something slept. A traveler strolled into the grove. Their steps were slow and tired. They spotted the log with relief, like greeting an old friend. Weary from the day's journey, the traveler set to take a rest. Whoosh! With the scrambling of nails and rotten wood, a shadow bolted from inside the log to the tall grass nearby. The traveler watched the brush rustle as a faint patch of fur appeared within. "Hello there, friend. I didn't mean to disturb you." They held their hand towards the grass, offering a piece of dried fish. At first there was no reaction, and then... First a snout appeared, quivering as it tested the air. It followed the rest of the fox, sleek and tawny, as she took several slow steps forward. Her amber eyes were alight with mistrust, but also with wild curiosity. The stranger sat unfazed, their offerings still outstretched. They dared to meet the fox's eyes, and in that glance felt something kindred. As the fox closed her jaws around the gift, a bond was made. Maybe we aren't so different, you and I. The traveler returned the next day, and the day after that. Each day they brought some treat for their new friend. Each day the fox's steps grew a little more trusting. One day when the traveler arrived, the fox was sitting in the clearing, waiting patiently.
Hello, my friend. Have you been waiting long?
The fox peered up at the traveler. Her amber eyes were warm and trusting. She accepted her gift of meat, gnawing at the traveler's feet then and there. The traveler sat, imprinting into their mind the feeling of the wood beneath them, the clean air around them, and the tender bond of companionship.
Where is your home, little fox? Is it here in this grove? Or do you come to see me too? This will be the last time, I'm afraid. Because I'll be going home tomorrow. Home is such a small place compared to the rest of the world. Yet, it's some place I can't wait to return to. I wish I could bring you with me, little friend. I wish that you could see the world too. Your home is all around me though, isn't it? It's wherever the trees are, wherever the leaves fall. Little fox, perhaps it's you who's the more fortunate of the two of us.
All too soon, it was time for the traveler to go. As they bade goodbye to the forest and to the fox, they knew that they would not return, but that they would carry the memories with them always. The next day, the fox was sitting in the clearing, waiting patiently.
You've now docked at Wellington Skyport. Thank you for flying with Kiwi Airlines, and we hope to see you again.
The intercom's announcement is muffled in the closet where I'm hiding, just like the clatter of seatbelts and the chattering of passengers getting ready to disembark. I wiggle around impatiently, sore from crouching in here for... I don't even know how long it's been. Hours for sure. The last few minutes always feel like they take the longest. Pride of footsteps begin to pass by outside my door. It's time. I listen carefully, waiting for a gap in the crowd. When it comes, I stand up and push the door open in a single movement. I give a wink to the shocked-looking lady that I stepped out in front of. She doesn't even have time to gasp before I'm out of her sight. Humans, they're always kind of slow. I nod at the smiling flight attendants as I pass her by, and then throw up my hood to cover my face. It's been a while since I last flew, but it doesn't seem like things changed much. It's always been harder to sneak on than it is to sneak off. I follow the crowd to the end of the walkway, and step out onto the ground. After a long stretch, I take a deep breath and savor the fresh air being stowed away for so long. Wellington Skyport, New Zealand.
I made it.
This game is so pretty. Get ready for me to say that about 1,000 times, because that's all I was saying in the first time I recorded this. It's so pretty, dude. My breathless voice joins the pleasant hum of the skyport. A few clouds drift lazily overhead, almost within arm's reach. The sound of the waves rolling onto the shore is like a lullaby. It makes me want to burrow into the sand and take a nap. But I can't. First I need to get out of here, and there's one more challenge ahead. Up ahead, the snaking line of passengers splits as people are funneled into a few security stations. While I'm too far back to hear what the guards are saying, it looks like they're examining a little booklet from each traveler before letting them pass. Humans sure like processes and procedures, specifically ones that take forever. I definitely don't have a booklet like that. Glancing around, I hope to find another way out. An open window would work, or even an unguarded exit. I'm pretty sneaky when I need to be. Unfortunately, it looks like the only way to leave is to go through security. Without any other option, I join one of the lines and prepare myself. I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way. The line moves briskly, as passengers are cleared one after the other, and I'm almost at the front of the queue before I know it. As the passengers in front of me approach the booth, I listen closely.
Good afternoon. Passport, please.
Right.
Oh, I love the accents.
It's good to be home.
I'm sure. Welcome back.
He stamps something in the man's booklet and then hands it back to him, and he continues on out of the skyport.
Next.
That's me. I don't know what they do to people without any papers, but I don't want to find out. I'm sure it involves a lot of questions, being escorted around, and other unpleasant stuff. Casually approaching the gate, I put on my brightest, friendliest smile, while keeping a slight distance. With my breathing steady and tail calm, I'm sure I put on a convincing act.
Passport, please.
Of course.
I fumble around in my pockets, pretending to look for my passport. Instead, I grab the useless, clunky phone that I've been carrying around and let it clatter to the ground at the guard's feet. As expected, he bends down to retrieve it for me, and
Oh, let me get that for you.
I make a run for it, bolting ahead and rushing past the security booth as real as I can. I mean, as fast as I can, as real as I can.
Stop!
By the time that I realized what's happened, I already have a few seconds head start. My inhuman speed combined with the natural chaos of the skyport should also buy me that few moments of time. I didn't finish reading that. Still, I've got to put them off my tail. Click. Dashing through the skyport doors and out into the road outside. I don't even have time to take in the city. Without stopping for breath, I run into the narrow streets while weaving between cars and shocked bystanders. Being seen by so many people like this is annoying, but it won't matter by tomorrow. Putting the thought out of my mind, I vault over a low wall into a nearby alley and land in a crouch. Out of sight, but only for a moment. I close my eyes and relax my muscles. All feeling disappears except the slight warmth against my neck. My secret weapon. The unremarkable-looking necklace is one of my only possessions, and by far the most important. The oddly heavy beads strung around my neck begin to heat up in response to my will, a soothing warmth flowing through my body. My hands and feet begin to morph first, and the fur chasing up my arms and legs as they distort and shorten. This sensation was so bizarre for the first few times I tried. It's amazing how it becomes second nature by now. Closing my eyes, I let my body and head shift and turn. The face is always a little uncomfortable. My once human face shifting and lengthening into a snap with some difficulty. The process complete after barely a few seconds, I open my eyes not as a human, but as a fox. I dart away without second thought, far quicker on 4 legs than I ever could be on 2. Obstacles like the stack of garbage cans ahead would be a pain to get past as a human, but instead I'm able to flit between the gaps without slowing down.
That's her. I know it.
She points at the fox, chases her. Ugh! Sounds like the security guard hasn't given up on me yet. I pick up the pace, running as fast as my paws will take me. His heavy breathing gets farther and farther away, and in just a minute or two, I know I'm safe. I don't know where I am, but it's not like I knew where I was when I started running. I almost feel bad for the guy who was chasing me. He never stood a chance. Even in the crowded city streets, there's no way anyone or anything that can outrun me. There's no way anyone or anything can outrun me. The wind just wishes it could keep up with me. Comfortable that the danger's past, I slip into another alley. Once I'm sure that I'm alone, I close my eyes and concentrate on the form I want to take once more. The familiar flowing warmth runs through me again, my body stretching and deforming at my command. A few seconds later, and I open my eyes and glance at my human hands.
Better luck next time.
Brushing off the dust off my jacket and hands, I nonchalantly stroll out of the alleyway and back onto the street. The odd person walks by on this errand or another, not paying any attention to me, just the way I like it.
Left, right, past turn, left.
Mapping out my path in my head, I look for a way to the main roads. It'll be easier to get my bearings there. I pick turns at random without any real destination in mind. When I decided to make the journey to Wellington, it was pretty impulsive. I'd overheard another pair of travelers talking about it and how beautiful the city is. With a moment now to take in the scenery, I can see they weren't wrong. The streets around here seem like a mix of homes and businesses. Everything is very colorful. Even the brick walls are covered in pictures and paint. In the distance... Sorry, my phone vibrated and it distracted me for a second. I can see green hills that are lined with houses. Sonic! As well as green hills. Sonic again! That are completely empty. There are a lot of hills now that I look around some. Oh, I love it. From just a few streets away, the sound of pedestrians and busy intersections floats my way. I head in this direction, taking shortcuts through yards and driveways when it's convenient. In one lawn, a big dog growls at me as I walk past. But when I transform and growl right back, he tucks his tail and runs away. After squeezing through at least one last narrow side street, I finally emerge onto what looks like a main road. There's no cars here, but tons of people on foot. There are brightly colored signs and decorations on most of the buildings. In the middle of the street, there are fountains and benches and trees, and all kinds of stuff. The best part is the variety of stores when I stroll past a few of the windows and peek in. I can already tell that I'll be doing most of my shopping around here. There are stores with food, with clothes, and just about everything else. I don't have any money on me, but that isn't exactly a problem. What is a problem is that's too crowded. Dodging a couple of security guards is one thing. Trying to escape down a busy street with lots of people could be too much even for me. I didn't mean to do that. Wait, no! Wait. Okay, yeah, it was throwing me off. I'll just have to remember where this place is and make another visit later, after all the shops are closed. When a man in a bright coat hurries past me, talking loudly on his phone in a language I don't understand. He's so distracted that he doesn't even notice when his wallet falls out of his pocket and onto the sidewalk. I notice, of course. Seeing an opportunity, I zip over and snatch it up, prying open the black leather pockets I find. A couple of bills in what I figure is the local currency. I slide the money out into the pocket of a pocket in my jacket. By now the man is so far ahead that he's almost out of sight. I have to hurry to catch up to him to give him back his wallet. He barely even says thank you.
I should have just kept the whole thing.
It's only fair that I get a little something for myself, since it's not like he would have gotten it back without me. I head back to my bench and inspect my prize. A blue bill and a brown one. These feel sturdy, nothing like the paper I expected.
1, 0, 10, and 5. So 15.
15 isn't much. I definitely should have kept the whole wallet. Oh well, at least it should be enough to buy myself something to drink. My thirst is starting to get the better of me, as I haven't had anything since I snuck onto the airship. Following my nose, I walk down the busy street until I find one of the many cafes lining the path. The sign hanging above its front door has a picture of a bell on it. Oh, and I love this place. Like, it's so aesthetically pleasing. Everything about this game is, but I love this place. Like, with the hanging plants, all the plants on the outside, all the potted plant, all the plants on the counter, and it is so good. A charming little chime rings out from above the door as I enter. I can't help but savor the wave of refreshing, cool air washing over me, which is all the better after so much running.
Hiya! Welcome to the Bell House.
It's so weird not doing the character voices. As soon as she popped up and said that, I was like, oh, what voice am I gonna give her? But I don't need to. The barista behind the counter is the only other person in the store right now. As I nod in greeting, and she leans forward with a cup in one hand and a pen in the other.
We're having a special on affogatos if you want to try one. Usually, they're like $7, but today, they're
And
only
I
$5.
died when I heard that $5 was a sale for a drink.
I'd like
I'm not sure what an affogato is. Isn't that a vegetable? Not wanting to commit to the strange-sounding drink, I look at the menu instead. Unfortunately, it's full of handwritten, spindly letters I can't read. Oh, I can't read a single word, and there are no helpful pictures. Safe option it is.
I'll just have a vanilla latte. Ugh, boring. But okay. Name? Mio.
It's my first time testing out how that name sounds, and I decide that I like it. I decided on the airship that was the name I would use here in Wellington. I've used so many names throughout my life that I can't remember most of them. For each new city that I visit, I come up with something new. Foxes don't have any use for names, so nobody ever gave me one. She scribbles something on the cup with black... For a second there, it sounded like a dog bark, but my dog is asleep. I don't know if that picked up on the mic or not. That was weird. She scribbles something on the cup with a black marker. If that's how this name looks, then I'm even more pleased with it.
$4.50, please.
I hand her the brown bill and she gives me back a big coin with the picture of a boat on it.
Alright. I'll have this ready for you in no time.
She sure seems enthusiastic. I notice she spins around and starts working. Looking about somewhere to sit, I decide on a seat by the window, with the sun pouring in. Near the entrance of the cafe, there's a wire rack with a stack of maps and tourist pamphlet, so I grab one of the maps before taking my seat. The cafe is big and bright with plants everywhere. They're on the walls, on the floor, and on the ceiling. Most of them are real and vibrant, obviously being well cared for. Even the lights that hang down from the ceiling have glass ornaments with little shrubs in them. Seems like I made a good choice coming here. Any place with a bit of nature in it is more comfortable to me than the other places without it.
Place to stay.
Looking down to the map I took, I traced the path I made from the port to this cafe. It's useful, but doesn't really tell me anything about the houses in particular. I'll need to find a higher vantage point. I move my finger along the hills. I notice from outside, following the little brown path at a patch of green with a little mountain icon. I move my finger along the hills. I notice from outside, following the little brown path to a patch of green with a little mountain icon. That should work for now. My ears perk up right as the barista arrives and places my drink in front of me.
Thanks.
I reach over and take the warm cup in my hand, but the barista doesn't let go.
You ready for the rain tomorrow? Huh? It's gonna rain tomorrow.
I glance behind me out the window. It's as sunny and blue a day as I've ever seen.
How do you know that? There aren't any clouds
It's
up
called
there.
the weather report, forehead.
I'm just good with the weather. Anyway, if you forget, then you'll be
Are we
sorry.
gonna go way out in the mountains and drown? Also, I have a theory that this girl is like us, mostly because these brown things. In my head, for some reason, I'm thinking of like an eagle. I don't know why, but that's just what immediately popped in my head. So I'm thinking she's like us. I don't know. Maybe she's wearing it under her like collar, but yeah. She finally lets go of my drink and heads back behind the counter. People are weird. Does this barista pull down on everyone? Standing on the doorstep, I have my first sip.
Oh, this is really good.
It's pretty plain but well made. The coffee isn't too bitter, which is perfect for me. With a moment to myself, my thoughts turned inward as I sipped the drink. My first travels were in search of someone, but despite my whole life being spent trying, I haven't made any progress in finding them, so I've taken to simply wandering, going wherever I wish at the time. I've been itching for a change of scenery anyway, so I snuck onto the first airship that I could. The best part about owning nothing but the clothes on my back is that I can pick up and leave whenever I feel like it. I take a moment to get my bearings and look around. I see a tired-looking person shuffling the far footpath with a briefcase in their hand. They stop outside one of the buildings, take a deep breath, and pat their face a couple times and then go inside. They must not be looking forward to whatever's going to happen in there. Maybe they have to fight someone. Through the large glass windows of another store, a fawn is trying on a pair of shoes, but they don't seem to fit her hooves. The people waiting with her look annoyed. I wonder if she fusses around with the footwear a lot. And here, I got a little confused, and I'm still confused. Because I don't know if she's just talking about, like... I still haven't looked this up. I don't remember if fawn means a kid deer, or... Wait, yeah, no, it has to be a kid deer. But then she says her hooves, and I was like, oh yeah, haha, because she's an animal. That would make sense, but then I was like, wait, why wouldn't she say paws, because that's what she has. And I feel like feet are closer to paws than they are to hooves. So I'm confused. Specifically just by this wording. For a while, I simply let the day roll by and watch the various figures who stroll by. People watching is fun, especially in such a busy city. I eventually go to sip my coffee, only to find nothing is coming out. With no more reason to stick around, it's time to go. On the sunlit street, I look about to match what I can see with the map's directions. There's a tall, green mountain in the distance ahead of me, which must be the one on the map. It'll be perfect vantage point for the city. Ideally, I'll find an empty building that I can crash in, but it's not necessary. A roof over my head would be nice, but I'm plenty used to sleeping outside under the stars. Sometimes it's better than sleeping in a bed. Encouraged by the plan forming in my head, I set off on a long walk to the summit. And this is where I'll end the first episode. This right here is where I also cut it off last time, so I don't know anything past this point. And looking at the audio, because I've been constantly glancing over at the audio during this whole recording, because I'm so scared now. I'm at the point where I feel like I need 3 monitors. One to watch the gameplay, so I know it's constantly recording. One to watch the audio, so I know it's not, like, freaking out on me. And then one for the game. But, yeah, with that being said, so far... Dude, this game's so cool. Like, I know it's like a visual novel, and people are like, bleh, visual novels, and I'm kind of a little bit like that, too. But this one is just so visually pleasing, you know? I feel like that's, like, for me, the storytelling and the visuals are the most important part of, like, visual novels, and so far, this game has knocked the visuals out of the park. So, I'm hoping as we get more into the story, that the story just matches it. I'm interested to see where it's going, and what, like, I guess, like, the point is. Like, Steam, I think it's like a slice of life kind of thing, so it's like nothing like Fate where it's going to be like these big, grand, epic battles, but that is A-okay. A change of pace. Speaking of which, this should be going up on the days I normally put up Fate. I don't know how I'm going to handle the schedule, Because I like to have it like visual novel days, which is normally Fate days, be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then whatever else I feel like putting up be like Tuesday and Thursday. So I don't know if I'm just going to have this go up on Fate days every time I upload one, or how I'll like change it. Maybe I'll start... So I'm going to put this up on a Friday, because I don't have a Fate episode recorded for this upcoming Friday. And then I think I might upload Please Be Happy on Wednesdays, and then Fate Monday, Friday. And maybe I could alternate that, like 1 week I do Fate Monday, Friday, and then the next week I do Please Be Happy Monday, Friday, and Fate on Wednesday. Like, maybe I could alternate it. Maybe. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Yeah. So yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.